What's up, Rockets fans? First off, a huge thank you. We just hit 250 subscribers, and seeing this family grow fills me with so much pride. Now, brace yourselves, because today's video is absolutely insane. Remember that total panic at the start of the season? Forget it. A shocking internal twist has completely flipped the franchise's destiny and canceled all those big trade plans. But wait, there's more. Our defense is operating with a dark secret that is ruining opponents' sleep and their physical well-being. Have we crossed the line, or is it just pure brutality? You won't believe this. So settle in, hit that subscribe button, smash that like, and let's dive right into the news. Let's be real here, fam. When the news broke that Fred VanVleet tore his ACL before the ball even tipped off this season, the panic was real. I know your stomach dropped, because mine did too. We looked at that guard rotation and thought, it's over. We're going to have to burn draft picks. We're going to have to sell our soul for some random vet just to avoid embarrassment. The general expectation around the league was that the Houston Rockets would go into total desperation mode in the trade market. But then, my friends, the unthinkable happened. We are sitting at a 12-4 record through the first 16 games. Yes, you heard that right. Without our floor general on the court, the team hasn't just survived. It's thriving as a legitimate contender at the top of the West. And the name of this miracle? Shepard. The kid simply decided he wasn't going to suffer a sophomore slump. He busted through the door. Shepard has been the most absurd surprise of the season so far. We're talking averages of 14.3 points, facilitating the offense with 3.3 assists, and, most impressively for a 21-year-old, swiping 1.6 steals per game. But what really makes your jaw drop are the shooting splits. 49% from the field and a ridiculous 46% from three-point land. The kid has cemented himself as an elite sniper. He fit like a glove next to Kevin Durant and Sengun, filling that void without asking for permission. And this is where the franchise's strategy did a complete 180. According to The Athletic's William Guillory, Shepard's meteoric rise in his second season made the front office pump the brakes on negotiations. That urgency to find a replacement point guard? Forget it. The plan now is to trust what we have in-house. The combination of Shepard with Amen Thompson's suffocating defense has created a backcourt that is, honestly, a nightmare for opponents. They complement each other in a way no one predicted this early. Amen locks everything down on defense, and Reed punishes on offense with surgical efficiency. This means our valuable draft assets, those picks we're terrified of losing, can be preserved or used much more intelligently, maybe targeting a three-point specialist down the road instead of a stopgap point guard right now. This changes everything. Instead of acting out of desperation, the Rockets are now playing with a full hand. Even with VanVleet, Tari Eason, and Dorian Finney-Smith out, we are steamrolling. When this roster is 100% healthy, we're going to have a 10-man rotation that very few teams in the NBA can match. It is a massive validation of our internal development. But hold on, because if Shepard's offense is saving our skin, what's happening on the other end of the floor is something much more sinister, and perhaps, dangerous. And while we're freaking out over Shepard's offensive talent, there is something happening with our defense that borders on criminal. In a good way, of course, or maybe not, depending on who you ask. The Rockets aren't just defending well. We are turning every opponent possession into a street fight. We have the 6th best defense in the league, but the stat that really matters is where we are killing the opponent's game. The dead zone. The Houston Rockets are allowing the lowest percentage on corner threes in the entire NBA, a measly 28.4%. That is insane. No one can shoot from the corner against us because our defensive rotation is flying. You know what's most impressive? Seeing big guys like Alperen Sengun and Steven Adams closing out on perimeter shots like their wings. Usually, centers are scared of getting dribbled past, but not here. Ime Udoka's orders are clear. Close the space, contest hard, and don't give up open shots, no matter the cost. We are forcing teams to shoot from the top of the key, where we can live with the result, while protecting the corners and the rim with our lives. But, my friends, this intensity has a dark side that the league is starting to notice, and that is where the controversy heats up. We are operating in the shadows of the rulebook, practicing what I call the dark arts of physicality. The NBA is seeing an absurd increase in fouls and free throws, the highest since 2011. And guess who is in the middle of this mess? Us and the Oklahoma City Thunder. We are testing the limits of the referee's patience and the opponent's physical endurance. It's that old saying, they can't call a foul on every play. And the game against the Golden State Warriors in the NBA Cup was absolute proof of that. Remember Draymond Green teaching the league how to be physical? Well, they got a taste of their own medicine. Our defense treated Stephen Curry not like a legend, but like a rag doll. We threw the guy from one side to the other, imposing a physical rigor so brutal that he finished with just 4 makes on 13 attempts. We won the game, 104-100, by sheer force. But the cost was high. Curry left injured. And that raises a giant red flag. Our strategy of hit first, ask questions later is working. But for how long? We are walking a fine line between being an elite defense and being a dirty team in the eyes of the officials. If the league decides to crack down on this excessive physicality, we could become the #1 target for the whistles. And with an 82-game season, maintaining this intensity without breaking our own players or living in foul trouble is the challenge that could define whether we become champions or villains eliminated early. Fam, here is the scenario. On one side, we have the audacity to trust a youngster like Shepard to guide the team in his second year, ignoring the market and betting the house on our young core. On the other, we have a defense that is winning games through brute force, flirting dangerously with the limits of the rules and risking turning every match into a war of attrition. It is a new identity, brave, but extremely risky. Now I want to hear from you. Is this bet on defensive violence the right path to the title, or are we putting a target on our backs that will cost us dearly in the playoffs? And about Shepard. Is the front office right to not seek another guard, or are we deluding ourselves with this hot streak? Sound off in the comments below. I want to see the chaos in this discussion. Go Rockets!